Rohan, welcome. Big day. It's a big day today. It's a big day for the World Cup. It's a big day for Indian cricket fans. But that, of course, is going to happen a little later. Earlier, well, there's going to be another game. And we decided we'd take a run up because we don't want to hit the ground running. You know, our heart rate just shoots up. So might as well watch another game which has limited consequence. I won't say no consequence, limited consequence. And then get into the game that is going to be the big quarterfinal, India-West Indies. That's, of course, happening in Kolkata later in the day. But the first game happening in New Delhi is South Africa. The table toppers so far, playing Zimbabwe, who've been eliminated, but have made a decent showing of them, at least in the group stages, maybe not that much in the Super 8. So South Africa will perhaps have their ego on the line a bit, saying, well, if our other two batchmates, West Indies and India, can have big margins against Zimbabwe, can we better that margin? I'm Gaurav Kapur. This is Cricbuzz Live, a show that's always bettering the margins. I don't know what that means. Michael Vaughan and Rohan Gavaskar here with me. It's a pretty cool term though, right?
I'm going to use it at some point.
Yeah. I mean, we don't have to really, it doesn't have to be apt for the moment. It's just an impressive phrase to use.
Listen, we've seen a lot of...
BS artists?
No, BS artists, political leaders use phrases which no one understands and they get away with it. So why can't we?
I love that. You, after saying BS artists, you had to say political leaders. You didn't really have to.
You know what I mean? It's what I mean.
It's just implied. Mr. Vaughan, how are you?
Good afternoon. Yeah, all good.
Did you have a walk around the Oval Maidan this morning?
What did I do today? I had a small walk.
Kids playing cricket? Lots of kids?
There was a few kids playing cricket, yeah. There was a few kids. There was a few playing on the street, which was good to see. I had an ice bath, had a sauna, came here. Perfect.
Nice. Which of these grounds have you played at when you were growing up?
All.
All of them?
Yeah. Oval Maidan?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, plenty.
Fast outfield.
Plenty of times, yeah. Look, see, that's the thing. I mean, this is what I say. A lot of fast outfields, but you never know when it's gone for 4 until the umpire starts signaling, so you keep running. Right? Because there is no boundary rope.
Correct.
So if you play at Azad or Cross Maidan, it's just up to the umpire's discretion. He thinks, okay, it's gone far enough. And then he starts signaling 4. The other thing when you play in any of these Maidans is, at least back in the day, I don't know how it is now, is that you could be a third man, but you could be right next to second slip of the other game.
Yeah.
So it actually makes you aware of everything that's going around you, because you take your eye off the ball, not just in your game. You could get knocked by a ball from the other game. So you've got to be really careful and really aware of your surroundings and just be switched on all the time.
I saw a wonderful moment about 3 days ago where there was games going on. There was one game at the end, and then there was another game going on. As you go down the Oval Maidan, and there's nets, but there's games going on. And there was a guy, a young kid, at backward point, and there was a left-hander on strike, so he's backward point to the left-hander. Anyway, a ball came over his head from the other game. So being a polite young chap, he just went to collect the ball from the other game, because I think they'd signal a 6.
Yeah,
so he went to get the ball over here. Whilst his game was going on, he was at backward point, or supposed to be at backward point. The bowler bowled it. The kid just hit it straight in the head at backward point, and the bowler's about to sell it. But he was collecting the other ball from the other game, so he went for 4. He'd have had a wicket.
Right? It's great though. It's a great experience playing on those Maidans. It teaches you. No side screen, none of that. So you sort of get used to it. It's a tougher environment.
I love that you say the umpire just decides, all right, that's far enough.
Yeah.
Right. And that's going to be a boundary. And then visuals of, for example, you could have 3 slips, but the third slip has actually got his back to you.
Yeah.
Because
so
he's somebody else's third man.
But then there's the games going on the side. It's like a rubbery ball.
Rubber ball, yeah.
So there's loads of those games going on. You've got to have your wits about you.
Yeah.
What if, I'm going to ask one last question before we go to Zimbabwe, South Africa. What if I'm not part, like the polite young chap who's not part of the game, right? What if he's just standing around, ball hits him, ricochets off maybe his backside or his hand or something, and one of your fielders catches it? Is that still out?
Well, it will be. The other day I saw...
Tricky, isn't it?
No, listen.
Come on.
I saw this crazy dismissal the other day, and the law's been changed now.
Yeah.
But this happened. Is a batter hit the ball so hard, it hit the stumps on the bowler's end, and it ricocheted back onto his stumps without anyone touching it.
Yeah.
The bails at his end were dislodged and he was out bowled.
What?
How? But he's hit it already.
He's hit it. Yeah, it's a but the laws have changed now. That's no longer the case.
Okay.
But you've hit it. It's hit the stumps at the bowler's end. It's rolled back, dislodged the bails at the batter's end, and he was given
He's
out.
bowled, so he's in his crease. So
Yes.
it's not like he's run out.
No, and he was given out.
Because if it hit a fielder and came back, he'd
It's
have to
an
be out of his crease.
It was an old obscure law which is now being
That
changed.
is amazing. So something really freaky has to happen to even dust off that old book and say,
Yeah.
1 second, law 8700.16b.
Written in 1642.
Yeah, with a quill. Is now.
Are you sure that wasn't an AI clip?
Wait, if it is, I've just made an ass of myself over here.
You know, we were talking about...
We edit it.
We were talking about BS artists, right?
Yeah, here's one.
Hang on, let's check it. Hang on, we're checking it. No, pitching outside leg, sorry. BS.
Done.
BS.
Is that noise? I'll go beep.
Rohan would like to he'd like to take it back. All right, well, Zimbabwe has won the toss in Delhi and they have decided to bat first. So that means South Africa's going to win by wickets and not by runs. That's mean.
Well, that's the third time in the Super 8 that they've won the toss. And it's the first time that they've decided.
That's all they won, right?
Yeah.
Poor guys. I just want to say what happened, because they obviously did really well in the group stage. But in the Super 8, they have just completely been destroyed, outplayed, right? What is the change? Has it just been the opposition? Has it been the moment? I mean, because they beat Australia, so that they're not chumps.
I think the pitches in Sri Lanka suited their style.
Fair.
I think the Sri Lankan wickets, I mean, last night's pitch was pretty good, but up till then, it's kind of evened the teams out because the pitches haven't been great. So that probably helps Zimbabwe. The pitches have been better in India and the quality of the opposition's a lot better.
Yeah.
So, understandably that as Zimbabwe side, we said it at the time that they've kind of got to their final by reaching the Super 8. So that's pretty much their limit at the minute within their team. So they've done great, they've competed, but it's no surprise that they've come up against the West Indies side, they've been hit for 254. They've come up against an Indian side, they've been hit for 256. That doesn't surprise me with the bowling attack that they have.
I just think the quality of opposition has been much better. You look at their group, they won against Oman, they won against Australia. Now, Australia wasn't...
Sri Lanka as well.
Sri Lanka have lost all games in the Super 8s as well. So, I mean, when you take that into perspective,
Fair.
they haven't really set the tournament alight in the Super 8s. Now, Australia wasn't the strongest side that we know that Australia can be.
Fair.
They came with a slightly weakened side, and that Australian side isn't as strong as West Indies, South Africa, and India. So when they made the step up, they've come up against three superior oppositions on better pitches, which have suited West Indies, South Africa, and India, and unfortunately for Zimbabwe, just weren't up to the mark.
I'm just saying that, I mean, you don't go into a game, you go into a game thinking you'll win. You never go into a game thinking, oh my God, I'm going to obliterate everybody. But South Africa, it can be a little ego thing. They will also want to make this statement saying if, West Indies and India, one of those they could play in the final. If we've come up against the same opposition, if they've won with huge margins, we've got to make a statement here as well. I mean, there's going to be that. It might play in the back of their mind, or will it be in the front of their mind?
Oh, I mean, you just want to play good cricket. I mean, they've played great cricket so far. The processes of everything that they've delivered in terms of the role definition of all their players has been exceptional. They've been really smart with the bowling hand. They don't have, the mystery spinners of other teams, but they've got seamers that have utilised all their skill sets with the slow balls, the wide slow balls. Nagidi's kind of off-cut slow ball that seems to be dipping on the batters. Yeah. I guess Rabada would like to find a bit more form, so a good chance for him today if he's playing. I'm not too sure what the team is for South Africa, but South Africa have been the standout side. They look like they got to the final 2 years ago. They've won that World Test Match Championship final, so they've got that trophy. They look ready. Doesn't mean they're going to win it, but they look like a team that's ready to win their first
we're talking
trophy.
about big games. Look at their big wins against South Africa and India. Against West Indies and India. Have both been statement wins.
And New Zealand.
I was just going to bring that up. I don't think they'll be thinking about trying to beat Zimbabwe by a big margin to make a statement win, because they've
already made the statement.
They've already made the statement wins. The only thing on their mind right now will be get the win, get into the semi-finals with winning momentum, and not have any injuries. Okay, because you've come in with us, with your 11. What you don't want is an injury, and you want to go into the semi-finals with a win. That's the only thing that'll be on their mind.
Can I tell you, you've got such a valid point about the injuries, because when you see the team and you see the changes, you'll understand that that's exactly that. Because they have rested in South Africa.
Yeah.
They have rested 3, which is Rabada, Jansen, and Maharaj.
Yeah.
So 3 of them have been, you'll have to say, rested.
Yeah.
Right? They're not injured. So they're
And they're not
preserving them.
dropped.
Yeah, they're not dropped. It's obviously cotton wool, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, take a day off. We don't need you boys. We'll need you in a couple of days. So we do this. They've got in George Linde, Enric Nokia, and Mafaka. So the 3 of them come in for the 3 changes I said, which is Rabada, Jansen, and Maharaj.
Well, workload management again. I mean, A, you don't want injuries. B, you're saying, okay, listen, boys, take a spell, take a breather, have a day off. Just make sure you're refreshed for the real big game now, which is the semi-finals.
Yeah, fair point. What do you think of this call?
I think it's nonsense.
Yeah?
I honestly do. I mean, they rested players a couple of games ago at the back end of that first group stage, which I got. Now you're at this stage. Now you just play your players. Rabada's not been bowling great. He could have done with a game. I mean, Maharaj is a spinner. He got hit the other day. He got hit for 40 odd the other day. Surely he'd want to announce it. I think sometimes these groups there might be an illness in the camp. I'm not too sure. If there is, understandable. But if it's just a case of giving other players a game at this stage, when you've only got potentially, you've got this and a semi and a final, you've got 2 more games after this. So 3 games of T20 cricket. Bowling 4 overs, nah. No, I think they're overcomplicating life. I'd have just carried on with the momentum, play great, get that unit back on the field again, blow away Zimbabwe, get to Calcutta on Wednesday night and do the same again. I just think why haven't they rotated the batters then?
Good point.
I don't quite get that, and I think I got it earlier in the tournament. Understand that, to give a few players again that have not been playing, but now you get to this stage, you just keep going. You keep going with the momentum that they've created.
What about if the thinking is, listen, what if for some reason one of the players who've been rested today are unwell or unfit for the semi-finals? So now these guys have got a bit of match practice.
But they played a couple of games ago, so
yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to find
science reports tell me that the more you play, the more your body gets
100%.
used to playing.
100%.
You become more threatened to an injury if you have a rest.
Yeah. Which was actually proven yesterday when I played paddle with you after 10 days.
And
you could see I was rusty in the first set, right?
You played nicely in the second, so you needed a little bit of oiling.
So which is why I needed that game time.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know, guys.
Well, I get it with 50 over cricket. It's a long time out in the field, but in T20 cricket, come on. 4 overs every 4 days?
Yeah.
It's not a bad gig.
Come on.
It's not a bad gig if you can get it. But, today, Enric Nokia and George Linde and Mafaka are the 3 players who are going to be bowling instead of Marco Jansen, Keshav Maharaj, and Kagiso Rabada. I think the Rabada thing, getting Nokia in, is probably just to say that they have an option. Because Keshav Maharaj has been good pretty much through the tournament. He's been very clever. Marco Jansen is worth his weight in gold, and that's a lot of gold.
Maybe they're thinking of Rabada being left out for the semi-final.
I think that's the only one that makes sense.
Maybe that's another way of looking at this.
So I guess they're auditioning Mafaka and Nokia both.
Maybe they're thinking of changes for the semi-final. They want to see, what these bowlers do today, to see if
that's the one that makes sense.
Force their way into the semi-final.
Because Maharaj got enough experience in India as well. With the IPL, he knows how to bowl in these conditions. He knows what areas to hit. What he needs.
He was a retained player in Delhi, remember?
Yeah.
A few seasons ago.
Yeah.
He was a retained
If that's
player.
the reason why they've made the change, because they are genuinely sitting around the table going, 2 or 3 of these might push themselves into the semi-final place. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But if it's just a rotation to kind of put a couple on ice for 4 overs on Wednesday.
I think, So I understand the Rabada one because he's not been in form getting wickets. But you're right. Don't understand the Maharaj one. 4 overs of spin. I think he could have been all right. I think he would have been all right. But anyway, that's what South Africa has done. Let's see what ZIM have done. They have got nothing to play for except just a little bit of pride against their, well, not neighbors, but, their continent mates, so to say. And they've made 3 changes here. They've got Masakadza in. They've got Kramer back in. I call him Creamer. Some they call him Kramer on air. Which one is it?
I think Rose said you played against him, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. In 2003, I played against Graham.
2000. So you're just going with Graham?
I'm just going with Graham.
Graham, okay.
I played against him in 2003.
Where? At the Oval Maidan?
In Zimbabwe, was it in a couple of games in Harare?
Yeah.
Got 100.
So
I thought I might slip that in there.
I like it. You didn't even need to slip it. You should have actually been bold with it and just gone, I got 100. Pause. Like Tariq. And it was a good game. So he was playing. So I was going to say like under 19 or something. Because obviously in 2003 you were.
Yeah, way over 19.
In 2003 he was under 19. Come on. But he was playing the senior team then.
It was the A side.
Okay.
So it was the A side, and after that tour, it was Dinesh, Karthik, and myself. We went to England for the Champions Trophy.
So we've got most of the people playing in that game are on Cricbuzz Live. This guy's still out there.
It's still going.
I love it.
So it was DK and me. We flew to there was a tri-series in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Australia, Pakistan, and then the Champions Trophy and the 3-match series against England in England.
I'm very curious to see how old he is now. Quickly
39,
just going
40?
on the Cricbuzz.
Because you were a youngster then.
He's 39, yeah.
Yeah.
He's young. So what was he, like 9 when he was playing with you guys? He must have been. He must have caught your attention because he was like, who's this child running around? But yeah, he's back. Let's have a look at the ZIM team again and see. So there's 3 changes they made. Now their changes are actually legit because of injury. So they've got Garava. He said it correct the other day, right? Yeah, but anyway. Garava is out, lower back. Then Musikiwa, ankle, and Maposa, well, that's saying it's tactical. So they've got Clive Madande and Masakatsa and Kramer into this team. Sikandar Raza, for me, I feel, again, another guy who's no spring chicken, right? I mean, we're pushing 40 again. I just feel like he's shown a lot of heart in this tournament. We've seen it in the T20 leagues. He's been around. We've seen plenty of him on our screens the last few years. But I think just leading this team, bowling. I think the previous game he didn't bowl in the power play. I think that was a bit of a miss from him tactically. But otherwise, I think he's shown a lot of heart.
Yeah, I mean, he's shown great leadership. He's clearly been directing this team for a while now, and you know his skill sets are great for this format of the game. You know, he whacks the ball. He's good in the field. A really good catcher. Good mover in the field, and obviously he's got a little bit of trick with the ball in hand. So he's the perfect T20 player. Look, he's played loads of cricket. He's very experienced. He's been around the leagues and he understands all the different conditions. But he's managed to get this team to a level that I don't think any of us would have thought that they'd made it to the Super 8s. Yeah, so for them to have got to the Super 8s, it's because of the leadership, because of the quality, because of Bennett at the top, who's been so consistent, and obviously the bowling attacks just managed, particularly in Sri Lanka, they were really competitive. They've been found a little bit wanting in India on the flatter wickets, but Sikandar Raza, you could argue of all the captains, he's probably maximised what he's got more than any other captain. You know, Aidan Markram's been great, but he's got a wonderful team. You know, you look at Shea Hope for the West Indies, a wonderful team. You know, Harry Brooks getting some good stuff out of the England side. But what Sikandar Raza's got out of the Zimbabwe side has been some real quality.
But you know, favourite word, optimise your resources.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's what he's been doing. He's been optimising
and his resources. But the other good thing, apart from his cricketing skills and talent, is that he's really good with the media.
Yeah.
Because he said something the other day where it said that, listen, you guys had said that Super 8 is our benchmark, or where we need to be. We as a team have got different benchmarks, and this is just a tick in one of those boxes. So again, whether they truly believe that or not, it's a great message to send out to your fans and even to your teammates through the press, saying that, listen, maybe we could surprise a few teams, aim for something higher. He's great with the media as well.
I think he missed a trick the other day by not bowling in the power play in the previous game. I think because he's been good. He's been good in the power play. But I want to talk about Bennett actually, because we'll talk about the ZIM bowling. They're batting first. Bennett, it's not too shabby. His average is 277 in this tournament.
Yeah, but it's only if you can recognize who he is.
That was brilliant. Yeah.
Did you see that? In the press conference afterwards, one journalist was talking to Bennett and said, "Oh, but you know, Bennett missed 100. What do you think about that?" He said, "I'm Bennett."
I've seen a funny news clip like that as well. If you know, you know. Yes. I think that maybe he should bat without his helmet for a few days, for a few games, so people can see. That's a big problem under the helmets. You can't recognize people sometimes.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, cricket is one of those sports. I mean, bowlers generally are more recognisable because they've got the hat off. Even a batter with a helmet on, then he goes in the field, puts his cap on or a brimmer, and you don't really recognise him. But he's played great. I mean, his 97 not out against India was real quality. I mean, to hit the likes of Bumrah Chakrabarti, Akshar Patel. He hit his first 6 of the tournament in that game against India, and then he got 2 or 3 more quickly. He's been the rock at the top of the order. It's a strike rate of 135. I mean, if you've got someone who's getting your regular contributions at the top with a strike rate of 135, you just need a few more cameos around, and that's when you start getting the big scores.
For South Africa, of course, I mean, it might just be a silly question to ask, but that's what I do. Because of the way they've played so far, the fact that with the West Indies, super convincing win. I mean, if you win against that West Indies side with 4 overs and change to spare, you win against India with a 75-run margin. But still, my silly question is are there still any boxes for them to tick? We spoke about Rabada, but he's not playing, of course, so they've crossed that box out. But is there anything else they're looking at in this game? Is there anything else that may be troubling them? Or have they reached that stage where they should just forget overthinking? They should just not even just think in that direction. Just play your game because you're looking so smooth and well-oiled.
No, I will say that if you go back to the games in Ahmedabad, I think they've won some good tosses. You know, the chase against New Zealand, I always get confused with the different coloured pitches. Whatever the pitch was on that day when they chased it was the right chasing pitch. They chased against New Zealand, obviously set against India where the pitch was, I think it was a black soil pitch against India, and it got harder and harder for batting, so India struggled with the chase. So I think they've won some good tosses. I'll be very interested if they get on a slower wicket with the lack of mystery spin. They've got a very good spinner in Maharaj, a bit of Markram, but apart from that, not a great deal more.
Because their pacers have done much better than their spinners, which is no surprise, of course. Their pacers have done much, much better. They've done really well, actually.
Yeah, but you know, Delhi's the only venue where they haven't picked up 3 wickets in the power play against UAE. So look, but you're right. The pacers. I mean, it's no surprise there when you look at the quality of the bowlers that they have in that bowling unit. That the pacers have done better than the spinners. Also, look. The pacers come on to bowl in the first 6 and generally find them bowling in the last 4, which is when you see a lot of wickets falling.
Fair.
Because batters are trying to take advantage of the power play in the first 6, and then again you're trying to take advantage, not advantage, but you just got to go all guns blazing in the last 3 or 4. So you're taking a few more risks, you're playing a few more shots, no matter what the situation is. So the chances of getting a wicket are much higher. You'll always see a lot of hat tricks happening in the 18, 19, 20th over of a T20 game, because even if 2 wickets fall, the 3rd wicket you're going to have a big bash. So look, no surprise that the bowlers who bowl in the first 6 and in the last 4 pick up wickets.
The one thing I'll say, South Africa do a lot of research. You know, they're a real smart cricket team, and you know, when Australia won the 50-over World Cup in India, all right, they've got Zampa, but primarily it was down to the pacers. The likes of Cummins, Hazelwood, you know, they went pretty much pace on, bit of Glenn Maxwell, but I wonder if South Africa have looked at that and thought, you know, we'll go pretty similar to the kind of formation that won Australia a 50-over World Cup. We'll try it with the T20 World Cup. So far, it's worked for them.
It has. I think it will continue working for them today as well. All right, so Zimbabwe has won the toss in Delhi, and they are going to be batting first. I have, this is our last day of the Super 8s, and then after this, of course, it's the semi-finals and the final. So we've got a little recap sitch that we've put together here. All right. So I'm going to ask you a few questions and just give me a one-line on it. Yes, no, maybe, whatever you feel like. All right. So there you go. First one that this is the entire creative team over here has come up with. If India beat the West Indies tonight, they'll also end up winning the title. Agree? Disagree?
Yes.
Maybe?
I think they will, yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Both in agreement. That was one of those silly questions. This time it was not mine. I don't think you're going to sit here and say no. But okay, a second one. New Zealand won't go beyond the semi-final stage.
Yeah. I think South Africa will beat them.
Yeah. I don't think they'll go beyond semi-finals.
All right. That's good. I like that. South Africa have looked the most complete unit in this World Cup. Oh, that's an interesting one.
Correct.
Yeah?
So far.
Well, you guys were just saying they've got no mystery spin. So they're just a tad incomplete. But otherwise, the most complete when compared to all the others.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Ooh, internet has been abuzz with this since last night, and you would say, why do you care? Because we're on the internet, so obviously we do. Pakistan's overuse of spin let them down in this World Cup.
I disagree. I think we're looking at one match being washed out against New Zealand.
Okay.
If that match had gone on, had taken place, and if Pakistan had won that, they'd be in the semi-finals, and we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Okay.
I think it's weather which has played a part in sort of Pakistan being knocked out. It's not to say that New Zealand wouldn't have beaten Pakistan, but I'm saying at the moment as things stand and with them being out, weather's played a role.
We had a 20-minute discussion last night about many other reasons. We never came up with this one.
I don't think they got their combinations wrong. I just thought they got their batting order wrong.
Yeah.
And it's their batting that's been their downfall. If they'd have had Fakhar Zaman at the top of the order and they'd have been a bit more aggressive and a bit more willing to take on the aggressive option early, as we saw last night, they got over 200 by being free, released themselves of that kind of tension, and they got the big number. If they'd have done that from the start, I think they'd have been a lot more competitive.
Okay, this one is of particular interest to Mr. Vaughan. England are on the right track to reigniting their white ball dominance.
No, I don't think they're going to dominate now. I think they're going to be very competitive for a while, but I don't think they're going to dominate like they did from around 2016, 17, 18, 19, winning 21 in Australia. No, I think there's still a way to go before they can get to that level. I look at other teams who have got a little bit more in power. Doesn't mean England can't win this because it's T20 cricket and on a given day anyone can beat anyone. But in terms of white ball dominance, no, they're not ready for that yet.
They won in 22, right?
22 in Australia,
22,
wasn't it? Melbourne, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so basically you're saying England on the right track to reigniting their white ball
Consistency.
upper medium competence.
No, if you look at, so the defence of the 50 over title here in India was a poor one.
Yeah.
They didn't win a game in the Champions Trophy last year. This has been a better tournament, but T20 cricket, England have made the last 5 semi-finals. So in T20 cricket, it's the one format that we've not really had to worry about.
Yeah.
So in T20 cricket, I think they've been actually, if you actually look where they are in 50 over cricket, they're a long way off. There's talk that they still have to qualify for the World Cup. They're that far down the rankings.
As Hugh Grant said in Notting Hill, whoopsie daisies.
Yeah, look, I think it's tough to dominate and have one team dominate in T20 cricket.
Yeah.
Whether it's Australia, India, England, South Africa, you think there are teams on a given day, they're as good as each other. So look, it'll be tough for a team to sort of come in and say, okay, listen, we're going to be right up there for the next 6-8 years.
Okay, that's a good point.
I think in 50 over cricket, I just see this Indian juggernaut.
Yeah.
All right, they didn't win the World Cup, but they played brilliant in the World Cup here in India, apart from the final. Champions Trophy, blew everyone away. I think India are going to be the team to beat in 50 over cricket for a long period of time.
Okay, fair. I like that. So then let's come to India in T20 cricket, because talking about dominating, the Indian T20 team dominated 2024. But now in 2024 in the World Cup, dominated. In this one, maybe not so much. So would you say that the 24 team was more dominant than this 26 team, looking better?
Yeah, well,
Tough call.
tough call. Look, we've lost one game. I mean, in a tournament like this, you lose one game.
But it's also the margin which has been.
You know, I'd rather. Well, I wouldn't say I'd rather, but when you lose a game like that as a team, you know, it's a terrible day at the office, and you sweep it under the carpet and say, okay, listen, it's done, move on.
Okay.
The losses that linger with you are when you've lost by 2 runs or 3 runs or like 1 wicket, and you keep thinking about what is it that we could have done where we could have won the game. When you have a big loss, you're thinking, okay, listen, we're completely outplayed. Put your hand up, doff your hat to the opposition, say, well done, and move along and think about what you've got to do to better
Like
and get into the next round. The equation is simple for India. You beat West Indies, you're in the next round. And if we end up going to the next round, end up winning the World Cup, would I be sitting here saying, listen, that 2024 team was better than this team? No, because you have a look at this team and you look at some of the players that are there. You know, Abhishek Sharma, he's not had a great World Cup, but I've got no doubt in my mind that when his career finishes, he'll be an all-time great of the T20 version.
Okay.
So look, they've got some fabulous players in that. So I wouldn't say that this team, it's one loss.
I like that. When you had a completely rubbish day, you just go, it was a rubbish day, put in the rubbish bin and carry on.
I would say Rohit Sharma as a leader made a huge difference.
Okay.
That's the only thing I look at this team and think, do they have that exceptional leader at the minute? But by the end of the tournament, again, I might be saying something different. But at the minute, I look at the leadership side of this T20 Indian side and think, ooh, I think I'd like Rohit Sharma. He's not playing, but his style of leadership, I used to admire hugely.
I couldn't agree more, because I think captaincy is really, really important in T20. More important than having a very good captain. More important than even Test cricket, because in Test cricket, a couple of overs, one impulsive decision of getting a bowler on at the wrong time is not going to cost you the game.
Yeah.
In T20 cricket, 2 overs at the wrong time, which have gone for runs, will cost you the game.
Yeah, good point. All right. Thank you very much for that little recap. Thank you for your candid thoughts. I appreciate them. I would like some more candid thoughts on your score guess in Delhi. Zimbabwe batting first.
161.
164.
172.
Okay. Good guesses. Good guesses. Olakye, do you want to hazard a guess for the joy factor question as well?
Well, we need to know what the joy factor question is.
What's the point? The question. My first question to you is: do you want to guess or not? Mine is a hard no. There is just one case in Indian domestic history where the top 6 batters scored a total of exactly 300 runs and 3 centuries were scored. Name the batting team. It's Pepsu. Do you remember from last night? The team from Pepsu.
I think it
It's Patiala.
might be Vidarbha.
Could be Vidarbha.
I think.
Or could be Gujarat or Baroda. There's 3 teams playing from there.
No, I think I'm not sure, but I know, I remember this, and I spoke to this thing. We'll give another clue. Out of the 3, it was each batter got 100, 100, 100, 0, 0, 0. The top 6.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
That's...
Well, if you actually do the maths, 300 runs, 3 and 3.
Yeah. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
To do the math. 100, 100, 100, 0, 0, 0. Kabhi shatak, kabhi batak. Love it. All right, send in your answers. Hashtag Cricbuzz Live. Hashtag Joy Factor. If you know the answer, of course, we will pick one lucky winner who gets roasted by Michael Vaughan, as happened yesterday as well. And maybe Rohan Gavaskar will throw in one as well. Right? That's the grand prize at the end of the long day of cricket that we have today. The fun day of cricket that we have today. First game, South Africa, Zimbabwe, and then India, West Indies to follow. We'll see you. Cricbuzz Combox at the end of the 10th over. Zimbabwe batting now. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.